What's up, Dream Team? Hello. What's up, March? Money, 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 March. That's what we're going to call this
March
month.
Madness.
I like Money March. Gerard says March Madness. I'm going to say Money March. I just got done doing a guest training for
March
another
into the
team.
Money Madness.
And I am super inspired right now, and on what I kind of want to make the theme and foundation around this month to be. So that's why I'm jumping on. It's so cool to watch the replay. If you are, say replay, feel free to tag your teammates in this or share it to whatever. But we are going to talk about the basics, back to basics, and why it's so important. Hey, Taylor, and hopefully this gives you some motivation. So we've got Monday motivation, Money March, March motivation, whatever, those things are cool, the whatever matching letters. But so I'm going to jump in real quick and tell you, hey, Kristen, so I was asked to do this training for another team. They do it like once a month, and a lot of it was about motivation. I was asked to share my stories. So obviously I'm not going to go over my whole life story right now because we don't have the time. We can do that another time, but it just reminded me of something because I also shared some of my Color Street stories. So if you are new here, which we added so many members last month, I am Brittany Metke. I am the Ruby National Executive Director of the Dream Team, but we have so many awesome people in this team, so you probably got added here some way or by me. But if you don't know me yet, hi. So I went over my story and we kind of started talking a little bit more about my Color Street journey. And I talked about like how in the beginning, so if you guys don't know, like this was really my first direct sales that I started actually like that took off, well, that I actually ever really did. I was doing another company for a little bit. I had no idea what I was doing. Like 3 weeks later, I signed up for Color Street. And so this is like my start, I feel and believe. And my upline had only started a couple weeks prior, and there was no team pages back then. There was no all these trainings. I did start a little bit after launch, but the resources we have now, there was no like training center, there was no app, there wasn't a bunch of team pages above me offering me incentives to just do my job. All I had when I started was YouTube, and I followed a lot of other people. I stayed connected with other stylists, and then I had, the incentives of the comp plan and Jumpstart and whatever the company offered. That's what I was working with. And those are great. The hostess reward. So like my thing was like, how can I make the most of this? And I started from a very basic path, right? So for you all that don't know me, I'm going to say really quick that I am an addict in recovery. I was an IV heroin user, and I had a really rough road getting clean, and I relapsed a lot. And then I finally got clean, and that was over a decade ago. And so what I've learned, a lot of stuff that I've learned that has kept me clean in those hard times in recovery were kind of transferable skills to my business. And there's something in recovery when you get super complacent with where you're at. And a lot of times when you get clean, you have to like do certain things every single day that they tell you to do. And you do get kind of complacent and you stop doing it and things get really hard. And a lot of times that's when people relapse, right? And so the suggestion is, okay, get back to basics. Do what you did in the beginning, that got you clean. Remember, why you decided to get clean. So I had kind of a point like that in my business, and I'm going to take you as about early summer to where I was very complacent with my business. I was a leader of a top team. I was getting paid very, very well, and I stopped doing those basics. I stopped doing them. I, kind of focused a little bit more on, making sure that we had cute graphics and that I could offer fun incentives and people would like me. But I stopped doing the basics of my personal business that built me to where I was. And I was struggling. And I did not maintain my rank. And that was a $30,000 pay loss that month. And I know that number sounds crazy, and I'm being, this is an income claim, you're already stylist, but that was what I lost that month. And I'm just telling you, and it was because I stopped doing everything that I needed to do. I was not holding parties. I was not posting in my VIP group. I wasn't adding any new stylists, and I was just, showing up the bare minimum. And my paycheck reflected it, and how I felt about myself reflected it. And people were starting to crumble. My, a couple of my really close, it just trickles down. And unless someone's really, really strong and independent, they can pull through it, but it does eventually trickle down. I see it in other teams. So that was such an eye opener for me. That was a very, a bottom of me for my business. And I'm like, what can I do? And I made the decision to get back to basics and do what I did when I started building my business, in the beginning. And I did never, ever wanted to be the leader that just sat there and collected a check and, was not leading by an example to my team. And I wanted to also have the opportunity to help and bring other people up with me. And when I'm not working my business and I'm not enrolling, I'm not able to place and help people. It's just not a good place to be. But if you're there, you can get your way out of it. And that's the amazing thing. No matter where we are, we can get ourselves out of it. So I made that decision, going into that next month and every single month therefore after that. And I was like, I was going to work my business like I had just signed up. And it started off with a mindset thing. And so I was like, I'm doing it, man. And I ordered new business cards. I was like, we're doing this. I went into my VIP group. I was very honest. I said, if you don't want to be here, leave. We're doing it all over again. We're starting over again. And I just made sure that I remembered how desperate I was when I started Color Street and what I wanted the opportunity to do for me. And I had to remember that. And know that, it can be lost at any time. And so what I found, that, whether we're in recovery, whether we're working a home-based business, anything in life, all we have to do is simple very well and very consistently. And that starts with our personal business. And that is even me being, leading a team of 12,000 people. My focus needs to be my personal business, because then I can show you guys what's working. I don't have to sit back here and be like, oh my gosh, I'm really not in the trenches. So I can't tell you guys, how to close a party. I can't tell you guys how to, how I'm doing a pre-order, how the email system works, because I'm not doing it. I don't want to be one of those leaders. I want to be able, if I'm doing it in my VIP group and doing it to my own customers, then as a leader, I can take it back to you. But ultimately, it all starts with me working my personal business. So if you're at that point where you are either a new stylist or you feel like you kind of fizzled out, maybe we can just all start together and just get back to basics. So I try to work every single day like I'm doing my own jump starts all over again. I am starting new. I am not going to be stuck in that complacency trap anymore. And so that means I am making sure that I'm always prepared with samples. I'm always make sure I'm just super consistent and doing different things in my VIP group. If you feel like you're kind of where I was, that, kind of burned out, I do think a relaunch, that's what I did. I relaunched all the way, but it doesn't have to be that dramatic. So this is what I mean about the theme being back to basics. Like if we are working our business every single day, like when we first started, it's gonna click somewhere. We're going to be able to get those new sales. You know, we hear a lot of no's, but we're also going to hear yeses. So there's going to be a lot of different challenges. We're going to come up with some really, things as a team, like listing like important. We're all going to be new. We're all going to be back to the basics, because I do know like what it feels like to be like, oh, I've been doing this forever. But we have to remember that, if we stick it, like being simple, you guys, like we have all the resources through this company right now. We also always have awesome incentives. We do not have to overcomplicate things. We don't have to go out and like hire, like as a brand new stylist, go out and hire all these coaches and work on our mindset and, do all this stuff and then maybe like think super hard. Like we have it broken down. We are a party planning. We just do parties, you guys. And it's not that hard. We sell nail polish at the end of the day. So like, what can I do to sell some strips? And if I say like every single day I want to just make sure I'm doing something to sell a buy 3 get 1, I'm going to tell you, like, even at my level as a Ruby executive, I still literally get so excited when I get a new customer. And that changed my mindset, because I'm still so grateful when I get a new customer. Like today, someone tagged me in this local group that someone was looking for Color Street, and she came over and bought $100 worth of strips. And like, I was so freaking excited. I made sure, she joined my VIP. I treated her, with, great customer service. A few months ago, I had someone that I met at a top earner mastermind order from my website, and I sent her a handwritten card with a couple twosies, and she literally messaged me and was like, thank you so much. She's like, a lot of times I've been around people get to your level and they just lose that like in-person stuff. So we are all just going to say, like, we're all BQ stylists. We're going to do the basic stuff every day. Like we're working to get to that next level. And it's just all going to be about, and right now just think of 5 things that you're going to make a promise to make sure and make them very realistic 5 things that you're going to do every single day that can help you with your business. And whether that is make sure that I get a sample out to a new person, make sure I do offer some type of way to either drive website sales or inventory sales to my website or through me. I'm going to make sure that I do, like, guys know, like, I always try to add new Facebook friends every day, because that's always a new contact. Like, my personal business always starts at my personal Facebook page. Like, what can we do every single day that's not super hard, that a majority of you guys have full-time jobs, can fit in there? Booking a nail bar, using, the affiliate links. It's just all about getting to the basics. I know a lot of people complain about finding vendor events. I live in Ohio. We're we have a lot of stylists around here. So we actually found a place and we're doing our own vendor event there. We're just, we actually talk to, it's a restaurant, right next door, and we're doing our own. I actually just set up one of my friends, she sells, for a skincare company, and we're going to do a girls' night in where she's going to offer facials, and I'm going to just show how my product works, and they can also get manis. Like, there's so many things that we can do, that we can think outside of the box, but it's really simple. It's $11, $12, $13 nail strip, but we have to do it. And so, like, kind of right now, think of those things that you can do every single day that maybe you slack on, maybe it feels discouraged, maybe there's someone that you haven't followed up with, maybe you're just like, I'm going to follow up with one person a day. You have to be realistic in what your schedule is and what your goals are and what you can do, because you will feel discouraged. And I remember when I'm talking about when I first started recovery, like, I did not know how to live as a regular human being that wasn't on drugs. So I did not have healthy coping skills. So like anything outside of the norm that could frazzle a normal human being would be very overwhelming to me. And so like it did take baby steps. And sometimes like baby steps will lead to, you know, obviously like you've seen babies, like they do crazy things, right? So like it leads to bigger things, but we just have to do it and make sure we're doing it well. But setting those realistic goals, like, you know what you can fit in for your time. Like, so like for me, I make sure that I'm always offering samples in my stories every single day. And I get new people that haven't requested one yet, you know, using Instagram. So that's what we're focusing on. Money March. We have the opportunity to, like I said, when I signed up, I did not get any extra incentives really. Like, you guys are so spoiled. Kids, we had to walk uphill both ways to school in the snow when I started Color Street. Just kidding. But no, like seriously, you guys, you guys are spoiled. You get spoiled by us, and then you also the company. So like, but March has such amazing things that the paycheck was always incentive enough for me, because here's the thing, when you're doing the things to get paid, like that should make you happy, right? I felt, I know I was a group that I was in today, and they said like, what incentives do you offer for your leaders? And I'm like, guys, freaking hitting your rank is incentive and getting paid on that to me. So like, I feel like there's, you know, just some mindset, like getting to basic stuff, like just doing the things when we started. We're going to just like, everybody just start from the beginning. We complicate it so much. And leaders are the worst. And I'm guilty. So that's why I'm saying, like, from my own experience, I complicated things. I felt like I needed to come up with all these different systems and graphics and stuff to show you guys. But ultimately, all I had to do was go work my personal business and show you guys what I'm doing. That's all I have to do. And you guys do it. And then we just share what's working, what we're actually doing. That, like, we're in the trenches doing it, and then I show you guys, because what's the point of like me having a team when I cannot sell myself? We've, you know, learned to sell the product, then you can meet people to sell the opportunity, and then you can make sure you're showing your team, and just never getting out of that. And listen, I've been in funks before, and I know what it felt like feels like, how am I just going to get back into it? And like, sometimes a relaunch is necessary, and just talking to people, it's so not complicated. As humans, we want to complicate things. I am such an overthinker. Like, I have very hard time making decisions, but you guys, like, this is nail polish, this is fun, this is parties. We don't need to have any scientific claims. We don't have to like force people to sign up for auto ships, and we help you. You know, we're gonna we have the opportunity calls. Just get people on it. That's all we ask. Get people on it. So we're going to just like share what we're doing, what's working for us on a very basic level. So if you're a new stylist, this is going to be helpful. You know, if you are a seasoned stylist and kind of feel stuck, this is going to be helpful. If you're killing it, well, then you better be sharing what you're doing. But it's going to be helpful too, because there's probably some stuff that you may not be doing. So that's kind of what we're focusing on in March. It's going to be a record-breaking month, I already know. So anyways, I hope you guys have a great day. Easter launch is coming tomorrow. I'm sure you guys are all doing your things, hopefully collecting pre-orders like I literally suggest to do every single launch. Hint, hint. Just because, like I say, it just works out, and then people get upset when the website's bogged down, and then they're like, why did this happen? And I'm like, we say this happens every time. Sometimes we gotta learn from things. But anyways, so excited. You guys have a great, great, great night, and I will see you tomorrow.